everyone, today I've got The Mandalorian Episode 6 Disney Plus review. Another episode down, and I seriously don't want it to end. Will this time change my mind? So as far as the story goes, in a Rogue One-esque episode, the Mandalorian goes on a mission with other people that aren't exactly good people. And while this one felt like one of those cop shows where they have to plan to extract this one prisoner from a potentially dangerous situation, now I wouldn't necessarily say I was worried about which direction this episode was going to go in. I mean, it's directed by the guy who was originally going to direct the Flash movie until that movie ended up being in some crazy limbo, and now somebody else is directing it and it's actually got a release date. But anyway, I was really impressed with pretty much everything that I saw in this episode, and I liked how different it was, especially when you have the Mandalorian getting to know all these people or being reintroduced to certain characters who they met in their past, and now having to work with them to do this one thing, and maybe it doesn't exactly seem like it would be a good idea or necessarily beneficial, but everybody likes to talk back and forth about, what's good for them, and, are they gonna get some money or credits or whatever the Mandalorian ends up getting paid so that he can maybe upgrade his armor a little bit more, but he still looks good in that Beskar armor, let's just face it. So as far as the casting goes, you've got Pedro Pascal, who I feel like he definitely proves that he is a badass, especially in this episode, and he is also kind of a charmer, and he's got some charisma, but he also doesn't like taking crap from anybody. I mean, whoever might seem like a friend at first might end up being the enemy in the end, but it's still really fun to see, who he gets to interact with and how he gets to interact with them, because he's still trying to be his badass self, and and fighting his way through this one perilous situation, and he just makes it look so good. But then I would have to say, and it's actually kind of surprising, that Bill Burr actually steals a lot of the scenes in this episode. He kind of reminded me of Bill Paxton's character from Aliens, and how he's always cracking jokes left and right. So it was really cool how you could hear him making jokes about certain Star Wars references. I mean, it was just really funny. I was definitely laughing my head off hearing him in this episode and his dialogue. And then Natalia Tena, who I literally did not recognize as this Twi'lek Xian, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and I thought she was also equally good and just really surprising in this episode, because obviously I had known her from Harry Potter, and now seeing her here I thought was just really cool. Clancy Brown was also this one guy who maybe he doesn't stand out completely in this episode, but it was just really nice to see that we have this, pretty good actor, well-known actor, or should I say underrated actor at times, playing this role of this muscle guy. And then you have a droid named Zero, who kind of looks like this person in costume, but also that one dude who was in the Hellboy sequel. And obviously I had actually started re-watching all the Star Wars movies, so I saw a character that looked just like him in Empire Strikes Back, so I was like, okay, so somebody like this actually does exist in the Star Wars universe. So I thought he was also pretty decent, as well as Mark Boone Jr., who shows up in the beginning and the end of this episode. So the things that I liked about this episode was that at first it came off like this kind of funny, mysterious type of episode, but then it gets dark as soon as they go to this prison in space, and the tone definitely changes, and there's tension where this whole room turns red. So I was like, okay, I'm seriously getting Rogue One vibes, but who hasn't since the series has started? And I'm still concerned for Baby Yoda's safety, especially when he is discovered by the other characters. And I was like, oh my god, please don't have anything happen to him. I'm rooting for you. And the amount of different alien species I thought was really nice to see, especially since we've seen a lot of human characters these past 6 episodes, and some that look like dialects, some that look like things from Lost in Space. But more importantly, I like the use of other Star Wars references with the certain jokes that were good callbacks to the previous movies, as I said before. But I also feel like in general, I lose time with this show in regards to how long does it take before Mando goes on his next missions. And I really feel like they don't exactly show that or address that in any way. It just sort of happens. So I'd like to see that maybe come up before the end of this first series, and then maybe into the season 2. So overall, I would say that I was really impressed with what was going on, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So I would highly recommend seeing this episode of the series in general, and I would give this 5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Mandalorian episode 6. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Child Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.